HarperCollins presents the 150th Open, celebrating golf's defining championship with Iain Carter. Read by Crawford Logan. Forward. We all agree that the game of golf has a rich and storied past, but few championships can claim a place in history so special as the Open. And now it is turning 150 years young. I've said many times that the Open might be the most enjoyable major championship I played over my career. It was so uniquely special and different than any championship we played in the United States. There is and was the rota of seaside links layouts that offer subtle nuances. The weather was always a factor and became its own inherent challenge in the Open. Then there are the fans. They all have a knowledge, respect, and deep-rooted love for the game. Playing in front of them was an honour. When I first hoisted the famed claret jug at Muirfield in 1966, the emotions that overwhelmed me were real and perhaps said everything about how special this championship is to me. To be named the Champion Golfer of the Year provides a memory I will cherish for the rest of my life. I'm incredibly proud to have been part of this great championship's long history and honoured to have my name engraved alongside so many other champions on the claret jug. The 150th Open is truly a milestone worth celebrating and gives all of us who love this great game an opportunity to reflect on the drama, emotion and elation that are part of the magic and mystique of golf's original championship. Here's to 150 years of the Open and to the next 150. Jack Nicklaus. Introduction. 4 decades ago I set out on what was the biggest adventure of my life so far, leaving the English Midlands, along with 2 friends, to travel nearly 400 miles north to Scotland. Keen but not elite golfers, like thousands before us, it was time to fulfill our ambition to go to the Open, excitedly anticipating the great golfers we would witness contesting the biggest and oldest championship in the game. Prior to this journey, we had followed the event from afar and read of its humble origins, of old and young Tom Morris, Harry Vardon, Henry Cotton, Peter Thompson, Gary Player and Arnold Palmer. We had seen on television Jack Nicklaus toss his putter skywards in celebration, witnessed Tom Watson win an 18-hole playoff on his Open debut, delighted in the swashbuckling matador Severiano Ballesteros bursting onto the scene, and longed for a British successor to Tony Jacklin. And now it was time to see, hear, feel, smell and taste the Open for ourselves. So, in July 1982, we drove to the outskirts of Glasgow, where we stayed with a relative of mine in her flat on the 11th floor of a council tower block. We rose early each morning to drive the 40 or so miles to the championship at Royal Troon. We parked in a campsite at the southern end of the course, close to Prestwick, where the first dozen Opens were played. Ours was the 111th edition, and we loved it. Watching previous Opens on television, the courses carried a mystical feel. Whether it was the history associated with St Andrews, the frightful difficulty of Carnoustie, or the raw beauty of Turnberry, these layouts seemed larger than life. After all, they filled the entire screen with their character and challenges. The players were also brought to life. The charisma of Palmer and Ballesteros, the pure competitiveness and grace of Nicklaus, and the heartache of Ben Crenshaw, a serial near-misser and personal favourite. Appropriately chosen words from the most erudite of commentators always seemed to create a narrative that fueled the championship's legendary status. Walking through the gates for the first time, there must have been potential for a sense of anticlimax, but there was none. The size and grandeur of the links were immediately striking, the challenge of the fiercely revetted bunker faces, the undulations of the dunes, the firmness of the fairways, the length of the rough, the freshness of the breeze all assaulted our senses. Our first task was to seek the famous 8th hole, the tiny postage stamp, a mere 126 yards in length, but with card-wrecking trouble all around it. We had seen on television the
Sample complete. Ready to continue?